The phone rang at 5:30 in the morning. David was already awake. He sat on the edge of his bed, holding the phone in his hands, staring at the screen like it could change his life if he looked long enough. The room was small. The paint on the wall was old and cracked. The heater was broken. Cold air filled the room, but David did not complain. He answered the call. "Hello?" he said softly. A serious voice replied, "Mr. David Johnson. This is from Carter Industries. Your interview is today at 9 a.m. Please do not be late." The call ended. David slowly lowered the phone. This was it. This was the call he had been waiting for months. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. "Thank you, God," he whispered. David was a black single father. Life had never been easy for him, but after his wife passed away 3 years ago, everything became harder. She died suddenly. No warning, no goodbye. One day she was there. The next day she was gone. She left behind David and their 6-year-old daughter, Maya. From that day, David became both father and mother. He cooked, he cleaned, he worked. He cried alone at night, but in front of Maya, he always smiled. David stood up and walked to the small kitchen. There was only 1 cup of milk left, 2 slices of bread. He toasted the bread and poured the milk carefully. "Daddy," a small voice said from the doorway. Maya stood there in her pink pajamas, rubbing her sleepy eyes. "Good morning, Princess," David said with a smile. "Is today your big day?" She asked. David knelt down and looked into her eyes. "Yes," he said. "Today Daddy tries to get a new job." Maya smiled wide. "Then you will not be tired anymore?" she asked innocently. David's heart hurt. "I will still be tired," he said softly, "but I will be happy." David helped Maya get ready for school. He tied her shoes with shaking hands. His mind was full of thoughts. What if he failed? What if they said no? What if this was another closed door? This job meant everything: good salary, health insurance, a better life, no more choosing between food and rent. David opened the old wardrobe. Inside was his only suit. It was not new. It was not perfect, but it was clean. He ironed it slowly, carefully. Every move felt heavy. This interview was not just about him. It was about Maya as he walked out of the house. Maya hugged him tightly. "Daddy," she said, "don't forget." "Forget what?" David asked. "Be kind," she said. David smiled. "I never forget that," he replied. David sat in his old car. The engine made strange sounds, but it still worked. He looked at the time. 7:45 a.m. He had just enough time. The road was quiet. The sky was gray. His hands held the steering wheel firmly. "Please," he whispered, "let today be different." Halfway to the city, his phone rang again. He answered quickly. "Hello." 'Twas the school. "Mr. Johnson," the teacher said, "Maya forgot her lunchbox." David closed his eyes. "I will bring it," he said. "But sir," the teacher continued, "school starts in 20 minutes. David checked the time again. His heart started beating fast. "I'll be there," he said. He turned the car around. This small delay made him nervous. Every minute felt dangerous after dropping the lunchbox. He drove faster but safely. He could not afford a ticket today. At 8:40 a.m., David was back on the road to the interview. Only 20 minutes left. Sweat formed on his forehead, then suddenly his phone rang again. Unknown number, he ignored it. It rang again and again. Finally, he answered. "Hello," a woman's voice spoke, shaking and weak. "Please, I don't know who else to call." David slowed the car. "What happened?" he asked. "My car broke down," the woman said. "I'm alone, scared." David looked at the road. Traffic was light. He could still make it. If nothing else went wrong, "Where are you?" he asked. She told him the location. It was on his way. David swallowed hard. He ended the call. His heart felt heavy. This was the moment where life asks a question: help or hurry. He thought about Maya. He thought about the interview. He thought about the woman's shaking voice. He remembered Maya's words: "Be kind." David tightened his grip on the steering wheel. The road ahead was long, and his decision would change everything. David slowed the car. The city noise felt far away now. Only the sound of his engine and his heartbeat filled the air. The woman's voice still echoed in his head. "I'm alone, scared." David checked the time again. 8:44 a.m. The interview was at 9 a.m. If he stopped, there would be no turning back. He pressed the gas pedal gently, then he saw her. She stood near a silver car on the side of the road. The hood was open. Her phone was in her hand. Her face was pale. She did not look rich. She did not look powerful. She looked human. David parked the car a few steps ahead. For a moment, he stayed inside. His mind was shouting, "You will be late. This is your only chance. No one will help you if you lose this job." Then he opened the door. "Are you okay?" David asked. The woman looked up, surprised. "Yes. No," she said. "I don't know anything about cars." Her voice was calm now, but her hands were shaking. "My name is Evelyn," she said. "I'm David," he replied. He looked at the old engine, loose cable. Nothing serious, but it would take time. Time he did not have. David rolled up his sleeves. "I'll try," he said. "You don't have to," Evelyn replied quickly. "I don't want to cause trouble." David smiled slightly. "You already did," he said, joking softly. "But that's okay." He began checking the engine. Oil on his hands. Sweat on his face. Every second felt heavy. Evelyn watched him quietly. "Where are you going?" she asked. David hesitated. "An interview," he answered. Her eyes widened. "Oh, I'm sorry," she said. "You should go." David stopped for a second. He looked at his dirty hands. Then he said, "If I leave now, I won't be myself." Evelyn did not understand, but she felt something change. The engine did not start. David tried again. Nothing. He sighed and wiped his forehead. "Please work," he whispered. Evelyn looked at him carefully. "You seem tired," she said. David laughed. Softly, "I am," he replied. "But being tired is normal for people like me." "People like you?" she asked. "Single fathers," he said. "We don't get breaks." Finally, the engine made a sound. David smiled. "One more try," he said. The car started. Evelyn covered her mouth in shock. "It's working," she said. David stepped back, breathing hard. "Yes," he replied, smiling. "It should take you home." Evelyn looked at the time on her phone. Then she looked at David. "You're late," she said quietly. David nodded. "I know." Evelyn reached into her purse. "Please take this," she said. Holding out money, David raised his hand. "No," he said firmly. "I didn't help for money." Evelyn froze. No one had said that to her in years. She studied his face. The wrinkles of stress, the eyes full of honesty. "Why did you stop?" she asked. David thought for a moment. "Because my daughter believes I am a good man," he said, "and I don't want to prove her wrong." Evelyn felt something tight in her chest. She nodded slowly. "Thank you," she said. David smiled one last time. Then he turned around and walked away. Back in his car, David sat still. The smell of oil filled the air. He checked the time, 9:02 a.m. It was over. David reached the building late. People were leaving. The lobby was quiet. He approached the desk. "I'm here for the interview," he said. The receptionist looked at the list. "I'm sorry," she replied. "The interviews are finished." David nodded. "I understand," he said. No anger, no begging, just silence. Outside, the city moved on. David sat on the steps. His phone buzzed. A message from Maya's school. "Thank you for bringing the lunch." Maya smiled all day. David smiled sadly. "At least one thing went right," he whispered. That night, David sat at home in the dark. Maya slept peacefully. He stared at the ceiling. Maybe kindness was a mistake. Maybe being good was expensive. But deep inside, he felt calm. Somewhere else, Evelyn sat in her office. A large office. A powerful office. She removed her coat slowly. Her assistant asked, "Did the test work?" Evelyn looked out the window. "Yes," she said quietly. "It worked. Perfectly." The next morning came quietly. No phone calls, no messages, no miracles. David woke up before the alarm, as always. For a few seconds, he forgot everything. Then reality returned. The missed interview. The broken hope. The empty future. He sat up slowly and rubbed his face. "New day," he whispered. "Same life." He walked into the kitchen. The fridge was almost empty again. One egg. Half loaf of bread. No milk. David cooked the egg carefully, cutting it into 2 parts. Maya walked in. "Still sleepy?" "Daddy," she said, "did you get the job?" David paused. He hated this question. He forced a small smile. "Not yet," he replied. Maya nodded. "That's okay," she said. "You always try." Those words hurt more than failure. David walked Maya to school. Parents talked about vacations, new phones, better jobs. David stayed quiet. He felt invisible. Before entering the classroom, Maya hugged him. "Daddy?" she said softly. "You helped that lady, right?" David looked surprised. "How do you know?" he asked. "You smell like car oil," she smiled. David laughed quietly. "Yes," he said. "I helped her." Maya smiled proudly. "Then you did the right thing." David watched her walk inside. Her words stayed with him. Back home, David searched online for jobs. Rejected, rejected, rejected. His hands shook slightly. He closed the laptop. "What else can I give?" he asked himself. He had no degree from big schools, no strong connections. Only honesty. Only effort. In the afternoon, David's phone rang. Unknown number. His heart jumped. He answered slowly. "Hello?" A silence. Then the call ended. David stared at the phone. Wrong number, he sighed. Or so he thought. Across the city, a tall glass building, Evelyn stood by the window. Cars moved like ants. Below, her assistant stood behind her. "Are you sure about him?" the assistant asked. Evelyn did not turn. "He was late," the assistant continued. "No interview, no resume review." Evelyn smiled slightly. "He passed the real interview," she said. Back at home, David fixed a broken chair. He liked fixing things that made him feel useful. The chair did not judge him. It did not ask questions. It just needed care. That evening, the phone rang again. Same number. David hesitated. Then he answered, "Yes." "Mr. Johnson," a calm female voice said. "X is Evelyn Carter." David froze. The name felt familiar. "I don't think," he began. "You helped me 3 days ago," she continued. On the road, David's heart started racing. "Yes," he said slowly. "I remember. Tavo would like to meet you." Evelyn said. "Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. David swallowed. "Is this about the interview?" he asked. There was a short pause. "Yes," she replied, "but not in the way you think." The call ended. David sat down heavily. His hands were shaking. Was this real, or another disappointment waiting to happen? That night, David could not sleep. Questions filled his mind. Why him? Why now? Why after failure? He looked at Maya sleeping peacefully. I hope, he whispered. This is not another lesson in pain. Morning arrived faster than expected. David wore his same old suit, still clean, still simple. He looked in the mirror. You are enough, he told himself, but he was not sure as he stepped outside. His phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. Character opens doors that skills cannot. David read it twice, then once. More, his heart felt heavy, but hopeful. Somewhere else, Evelyn prepared a file. Inside was David's name. Not his resume, not his experience, but a single sentence written in bold. He chose kindness when it cost him everything. David arrived early, too early. The building was tall and quiet. Glass walls, clean floors. Everything looked expensive. David adjusted his old jacket. For a moment, he felt small. Why am I here? He thought. He checked the message again. 10 a.m., top floor. The elevator moved slowly. Each floor felt heavier than the last. David's reflection stared back at him in the mirror walls. Tired eyes. Simple suit, no confidence, only hope. When the elevator doors opened, silence filled the floor. A woman at the desk looked up. Name? She asked. David Johnson, he replied. She smiled politely. She is waiting for you. That sentence shook him. The door opened. The room was large. Sunlight came through wide windows. And there she was, Evelyn, standing by the window. The same woman from the road, but different. Strong, in control. David stopped walking. I didn't know, he said softly. Evelyn turned and smiled. I didn't want you to, she replied. She pointed to a chair. Please, sit. David sat carefully. His hands rested on his knees. You were late to the interview, Evelyn said. David nodded, double quotes, yes, do. You know why we called you today? She asked. David shook his head. No, ma'am. Evelyn walked to the table. She picked up a folder. It was empty. No resume, she said. No degrees. No references. David looked down. I understand if he began. Evelyn raised her hand. I'm not finished. She walked closer. I watched you, she said, from the moment you stopped your car. David looked up, confused. That day, she continued. I was not just broken down, I was watching. David's heart pounded. This company hires smart people, Evelyn said. But smart people are everywhere. She looked into his eyes. I need someone honest. David spoke slowly. I didn't stop for a job, he said. I stopped because you needed help. Evelyn smiled. That is why you are here. She opened another file. This one had papers, job details, salary, benefits. David's breath stopped. I'm offering you a position, Evelyn said. David stood up suddenly. I was late, he said. I failed. Evelyn shook her head. You? Passed, she replied. David's voice broke. But I have nothing special, Evelyn answered calmly. You have character. There was a knock on the door. An assistant entered. Ms. Carter, the board is waiting. Evelyn nodded. She turned back to David. Think about it, she said. But understand this. She paused. This job found you because you were good, not lucky. David walked out slowly. His legs felt weak. The world outside looked different, brighter, lighter. That evening, David sat beside Maya. She listened carefully. So the lady was the boss. Maya asked. David smiled. Yes. Maya nodded seriously. I told you, she said. Being good works. David hugged her tightly. Some lessons come with pain. Some come with patience. But the strongest ones come with truth. David did not accept the job that day. He walked home slowly. The city felt louder than usual. Cars passed. People laughed. Life moved on. But inside David's mind, everything was quiet. Too quiet. That night, David sat at the small table. The job. Papers were in front of him. He did not open them. Maya colored pictures beside him. She looked up. Daddy, why are you sad if good things happened? David smiled weakly, because good things sometimes ask big questions. He said David went to bed late. Sleep did not come easily. His thoughts were heavy. What if this job changed him? What if he failed again? What if he was not enough? He remembered all the times life disappointed him. Hope was dangerous. The next morning, David took Maya to school. On the way back, his phone buzzed. A message from Evelyn. No pressure, just honesty. David read it twice. She was not forcing him. That scared him more. David sat on a park bench. He watched fathers playing with their children. He felt envy, then guilt, then understanding. He realized something. This job was not just about money, it was about becoming stable, becoming present, becoming free from fear. At home, David opened the job file. He read every page slowly. It was real. The salary could change. Everything, but one line stopped him. Long hours may be required. David's hands shook. Long hours meant less time with Maya. He closed the file. That afternoon, the school called again. Maya had a small fever. David rushed to get her. He held her in his arms. She slept on his chest. In that moment, the world disappeared. No job felt bigger than this. That night, David made his decision. He picked up the phone. He called Evelyn. She answered, "I can't accept the job." David said softly. There was silence. "Why?" Evelyn asked. "Because my daughter needs me," he replied. Evelyn listened. She did not interrupt. "You failed the test," David continued. "My family comes first." Evelyn smiled on the other side of the call. "No," she said. "You passed again." The next morning, David received an email. New contract, new terms. Flexible hours. Remote work options. David stared at the screen. Tears filled his eyes at the bottom of the email. One line stood out. "We don't hire workers. We hire values." David accepted not because he needed money, but because he was respected. That evening, David and Maya ate pizza, a small celebration. Maya laughed. "Does this mean we are rich?" she asked. David laughed. "No," he said, "but we are safe." Outside, the sun went down slowly. David felt something new. Peace, not the loud kind, the quiet kind. Some doors open slowly. Some open only after you choose love over fear. David finally understood change did not come fast. It came quietly on a Monday morning. David woke up early, not from stress, but from habit. The small room looked the same, but something inside him felt different. For the first time in years, he did not feel afraid of the day. He made breakfast, real breakfast. Eggs, toast, warm milk. Maya sat at the table, swinging her legs. "Is this because of the new job?" she asked. David smiled. "Yes," he said. "Oh, and because we deserve good mornings." David's first day of work felt strange. No factory noise, no heavy lifting, no shouting boss, just a laptop, a clean desk, and a welcome message on the screen. "We are glad you are here." David stared at it for a long moment. No one had said that to him before. Evelyn called later that day. "How was your first day?" she asked. David laughed nervously. "I keep waiting for someone to tell me I don't belong." Evelyn replied calmly, "If you didn't belong, you wouldn't be here." Weeks passed. David learned fast. He asked questions. He listened more than he spoke. When he made mistakes, he fixed them. When he did not know, he admitted it. People noticed, not his background, not his past, but his effort. Money slowly removed fear. Bills were paid on time. The light stayed on. The fridge was full. Small things felt big. One evening, David took Maya shopping. She touched everything carefully, afraid to break something. "You can choose," David said. Maya looked shocked. "For real?" She asked. "For real." He smiled. She hugged him tightly. But the biggest change was inside David. He slept better. He laughed more. He stopped apologizing for existing. One day, Evelyn invited him to the office, not for work. For lunch, they sat across from each other. "Do you regret stopping that day?" she asked. David thought for a moment. "No," he replied. "I regret doubting kindness." Evelyn nodded. "That doubt kills more dreams than failure." She said David was promoted. Not because he asked, but because he earned trust. He became a team leader. People listened when he spoke, because he spoke with respect at home. David helped Maya with homework. She wrote a sentence, "My hero is my dad." David's eyes filled with tears. No award felt bigger. One night, David stood by the window. City lights glowed. He remembered the man he was. Tired, afraid, broken, and the man he became. Strong, calm, honest, not perfect, but real. Change does not come from luck. It comes from choices. Hard choices. Quiet choices. The kind no one claps for. David made one of those choices, and life slowly answered. Years passed, not loudly, not suddenly, but steadily. David no longer counted days to survive. A key counted. Moments to enjoy, morning walks with Maya, evening talks at the table, quiet laughter before sleep. Life was still simple, but it was no longer heavy. One afternoon, David received an invitation. A school event. Career day. Maya smiled and said, "Daddy, can you come?" David hesitated. Old fear returned. "What if I don't sound important?" he thought. Then he remembered something. Importance is not a title. It is a story. At the school, parents spoke, doctors, engineers, business owners. Then it was David's turn. He stood in front of the children. He did not talk about success. He talked about choices. "I missed an interview once," David said. The room became quiet. "I stopped to help someone. I lost time. I lost fear. I gained truth." Children listened closely. Parents leaned forward. "One good choice can change your life," he said. "Not because it brings money, but because it brings peace." Maya looked at him with shining eyes. After the event, Evelyn approached him. "You speak well." She nodded. "That's why people listen." That evening, David and Maya walked home. The sky was orange. Maya held his hand tightly. "Daddy," she said, "when I grow up, I want to be kind." David stopped walking. He knelt down. "That is the best dream," he said, years later. David helped others get jobs, not with promises, with chances. He remembered how it felt to be unseen. So, he saw others. One night, David sat alone. He thought about that road, that broken car, that one decision. Life did not reward him immediately, but it rewarded him correctly. Kindness did not make him rich. It made him strong. It made him trusted. It made him free. Some people chase success. Others attract it. David learned the difference.